3, 2, 1. 8 Fit Vegans in the making. I'm sitting here with Jonathan. And today we're going to discuss how Jonathan lost 19.8 pounds of fat on a vegan diet and gained 6.6 pounds of muscle mass. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So Jonathan, can you just quickly introduce yourself for people that don't know you?
Well, you got the first part right. My name is Jonathan, and I've been on a vegan diet for a while, but pretty inconsistent and not very clean. I would say a dirty vegan diet without much structure.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I describe my past.
Yeah. So how long have you been vegan in total?
I'm 32 now, and I started when I was 25 years old.
So almost 7 years, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of reasons to go vegan. It seems like for me, it's health reasons that I choose to.
Yeah, I think like the longer you are vegan, like the more like it's kind of intertwines. Like in the beginning for me it was animals, but then you just know like it's health for the environment. There's so many factors that are important. So Jonathan, like previously you already taught me a little bit like not that much structure in the beginning. How was like your what were you doing like before working with me when it comes to making sure you're gonna achieve your goals?
I had a good idea of what I needed to do, but it was kind of all on my own, so I didn't have someone holding my hand, so to speak, keeping me focused. I could be focused for moments, but then, on the way home, see some vegan junk food, and say yes to that, and I won't do it the next day. But over time, that didn't, play out in my favor. A lot of that over the years, slowly. Sure, I was vegan, but I wasn't doing myself favors nutrition-wise at all. But I certainly wasn't an example. You would never think I was vegan by how I ate or how I looked.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of like this, you want to be consistent, but just there was like something inside you, which is like, okay, let's eat this vegan junk food right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, why was it like important for you? So, which goals were you looking to achieve, but you didn't seem to get there like on your own?
Well, I was convinced early on that you could eat successfully on a vegan diet and prosper, be healthy. Meant a lot to me having a mind that worked well, because I struggle that way with attention and focus.
Yeah.
So the idea that I could feed my body and it would affect how my brain worked, my mood. I met others and have seen others online do that successfully, but I just didn't know how to exactly follow that on my own.
Yeah.
So that was very motivating, being able to think more clearly in day-to-day life.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like think more clearly. Also, like goal of body transformation. You talked a little bit about being a good example for the vegan movement.
Yeah. Yes, I wasn't. By looking at me, I really wasn't. So practicing what I preach, so to speak. Meant a lot. And then I knew for sure if I could look better, I would also feel more confident, not so self-conscious about, what my convictions are regarding, the diet.
Yeah. So. Okay, that's awesome, man. So, let's go to back then again. Like, how were you trying like to achieve those goals? Of being more consistent, of feeling sharp in your mind, of being a good example for the vegan movement.
Is that before your program?
Yeah.
Or,
yes.
Okay.
Before. Yeah.
Well, really quite poorly, to be honest. I would just look in the mirror and say, "You're gonna do better," and then I just wouldn't. I wanted to do so many things, but I was a lot of talk in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing a lot other than sharing what I knew with others.
Yeah.
They could only really rely on my words and not so much my physical example.
Yeah.
So I've helped a lot of my friends get off some medications just by switching to more whole food, plant-based diets. So close relatives. My mom isn't able to take any of her depression medication anymore, just because she eats a lot of salads now.
Yeah.
That's a simple way of putting it.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of knew that you could be like a better influence, or you could like you could do more than what you were doing back then.
Just
Okay.
lacking knowledge, but I knew I could if I just knew what
Yeah.
exactly to do.
Yeah. So what were kind of like your frustrations? You were talking to those people, and they were just like, yeah, I mean, whatever, Jonathan, you're not a good example, or like, how did this happen exactly?
Well, in a lot of ways, I got tired of being a hypocrite. I mean,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
I would see someone who was, say, overweight, sick. You could tell they had, ailments that are common,
Yeah.
diabetes, high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And by looking at me, you'd think I had the same thing, but
Yeah.
I was still preaching this vegan diet, but I wasn't
Yeah.
following it as well as I could, as I
Yeah.
knew I could. Um, so I was pretty determined right then and there. I have to quit, having a facade or believing what I believe,
Mhm.
and without proper action, taking it where
Yeah.
I know it needs to go, and I know will
Yeah.
benefit me and others.
Yeah. I think like things like I think a lot of us think the same way. There's one way we want to go, but just like we can't go there, and like it creates some sort of like cognitive dissonance where we kind of know we need to go there, but like we don't really know how to get there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So like, where did you first hear about me?
Well, it was a completely non-controversial human being by the name of what's his name? Crud. We might have to cut this part out.
No worries.
He's the really angry
Vegan
dude.
Gains. Vegan
Vegan
Gains.
Gains.
Richard, yeah.
Yep, that guy.
Okay. And what,
I
what
I
piqued your interest?
uh, I I kept hearing him talk about you at the end of his videos,
Mhm.
and it really didn't seem like it was a real thing because I've never
Mhm.
met anyone who, to be honest, gave a crap about not eating animals and then also putting on muscle. Those are
Yeah.
just a few people, maybe an Olympian here or there in a foreign
Mhm.
country, but no one I ever really met or knew of, certainly.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so watching his videos, all those non-controversial ones, and then at
Obviously.
the obviously, uh, then at the
Yeah.
end, him always bringing you up, I thought, well, I'll just see what this
Yeah.
Florian dude's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
you maybe kind of thought like, oh, it's too good to be true. Like
very much so. I
yeah.
thought, well, what's the catch? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's
So
what went through my mind.
right now, like we're working together for quite some time. So like, which
Mhm.
kind of results have you seen by working with me?
Well, I mean, if I were to take my shirt off, I don't look like the same person. Maybe
Yeah.
that counts for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I mean, it certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of serious results.
Yeah.
And just a diet, just a diet change. We're more refined than the way I was going,
Yeah.
really honing that, the focus regarding the diet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, started to add meaningful exercises that were really custom to me, which was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And like also before, like you were talking like a little bit about back pain. I was going through like our first discussions again.
Mm-hmm.
Just like talk a little bit about your back pain. Was it like quite frequent before, or like how was it?
Yeah, I'd say 3 or 4 times a year. It could be
Yeah.
real debilitating to where I'd have
Yeah.
to take time off work just because my
Yeah.
back was aching.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I injured it lifting a couch incorrectly.
Yeah.
Um, but since then, we've been working together for many months,
Yeah.
and since then, it hasn't flared up like it used to at all. It's just there, noticeable barely, but
Yeah.
not debilitating. Not
Yeah.
enough to make me, take off work or anything, or
Yeah.
make me stop exercising, which is even better yet.
Yeah. I mean, you've been incredibly consistent, so that's really awesome. So like tell me, Jonathan, which areas of your life have improved by working with me, and by how much?
One of the surprising ones initially was strength.
Yeah.
I did think I would have to look a lot more, just vanity, aesthetically pleasing,
Yeah.
before I noticed real physical strength.
Yeah.
When I started, I could barely squat a 45-pound bar. That was
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
And now, with relative ease, 210 is quite easy. And
Nice,
that
man.
only took, 3 months. So that was good. Just feel
Yeah, like what,
feeling,
a five-fold improvement?
yeah, just a
Yeah.
little improvement, not much,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
being comfortable with weights was
Yeah.
good. Feeling
Hmm.
confident, not afraid to push myself.
Yeah.
Push myself, but not too far.
Yeah.
Know my limits, but still progress.
Yeah.
That's been helpful. Um,
Hmm.
Being on a strict diet, uh, shouldn't say diet, just lifestyle.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Tracking down what I eat is great because can't cheat if I do that. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
and then you see if I cheat, so I got to really be careful.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
but it's all been for the benefit, of
Yeah.
staying really focused and not
Yeah.
just doing it halfway and then whine that it didn't work out. I have to really go all the way before I have any right to complain that it didn't work. So far,
Mhm.
it's worked, so I can't complain yet.
Yeah, I hope so, Jonathan. Otherwise, you're gonna find a solution to make it better. So you
Mm-hmm.
talked about like strength. You talk about like a sharper mind. You talked about like having more confidence. Like you feel also like improved like your work life, your relationships. What do you think? Just having more control over yourself.
Yeah, it seems to me that, with the diet in conjunction with consistent exercise, because before this, I really hadn't exercised much, just a little bit, maybe a decade ago, uh,
Yeah.
for a month or two.
Hmm.
Um, but waking up, life changes and gives you reasons to feel down or up. But since I've been doing this, I've had real stable moods,
Hmm.
which only makes sense if I'm eating consistently, working out consistently, staying very hydrated. I can't help but feel, a steady positive mood instead of, mood swings if I'm feeding my body,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
So,
I think that's what like a lot of people don't realize. Like
hmm
how just mastering like this one aspect of your life has like huge implications on your
yes,
well-being.
yes,
And it's like I think like I mean maybe when you were thinking before when you weighed like 20 pounds more and like had 6 pounds less muscle mass. I think like if I told you right now, I mean your mood could be way better if you would fix this. You would be like, oh, you're joking, you're joking. That's not true because you only know this. You only know how it's like to be at the situation. It's like a whole new life
hmm
once you got this under control. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
So Jonathan, like, why did you decide to get coached by me or like mentored by me?
Well, everywhere I looked, I couldn't find anyone that wanted to, so to speak, meet me at the level of nutrition. There are
Yeah.
many people who feel, nutrition is important to build that muscle, but
Hmm.
I knew it could be done, or I wanted to at least see if it could be done by
Hmm.
just eating, plant based.
Yeah.
Um, I had
Hmm.
a feeling it could, and I just really wanted to try.
Hmm.
If I couldn't try that, I just wasn't interested. And
Yeah.
that was nice to find someone, like yourself who offers that explicitly. That's almost, I guess I'd say a requirement that you prefer,
Hmm.
no meat eaters allowed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you'd offer to at least take someone who does eat the Western high animal diet and wean them off to the Whole Foods vegan brain power food. So that
Yeah.
was very appealing, more than
Yeah.
the exercise
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah. Maybe also like your coach like meets you where you're at, like as you told before, like that looks at your nutrition and doesn't
Hmm
like okay eat something completely different, just like
hmm
okay like small changes, make sure it works for you and step by step with this like with science behind it, not just like I'm gonna give you this advice because this guy taught me. You should you should do it this way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not because I just read it in a book, because there's some experience to go along with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, when I mentioned my back pain, I'd never heard a word of you saying anything about, well, yeah, that's not nice, but you still got to do this exercise anyway.
Yeah.
You kind of worked around it. I still,
Yeah.
you still had me work out, but you kind of respected that injury, so I
Yeah.
appreciated that. You know, that
Yeah.
showed on for my perspective that you were kind of on top of those little details.
Yeah.
You know?
Things like, I mean, I know this because I suffer from back pain myself, you know, and I know how sorry for the camera, like how shitty it can be. So it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
really bad. And then
Mm-hmm.
like if you have a program that like is not suited to this, like yeah, come on, you know.
Yeah.
And but we worked on your flexibility. You do like a routine like every
Mm-hmm.
week, which is like really good. So Jonathan, what like kicked you over the fence? You know, what do you say like, okay, like right now it's just I need to take action now. What was the reason back then?
That's kind of a hard one because so many times, and I think a lot of people could agree who've been on, you know, diets, is you think you have a moment where, oh, this is the day I'm definitely going to change. You know, I can
Yeah,
feel it, and then months, days, weeks later, you're back to where you were.
yeah,
Uh, I guess part of it is my age. You know, I'm
yeah,
only 32, but
yeah,
I couldn't get you know, where I am now. I sure wish I was in my 20s.
yeah.
So a lot of it was age, and then watching others around me,
Mm-hmm.
just you know, not viewing them maliciously, but looking at them and saying, you know, ones who are sick because of their diet, you know, and things that we know about diet. I
Yeah,
just did not want to wind up that way. I
yeah,
wanted to do everything I could to not be like that because I know, especially now, how much well off I am when my
yeah,
brain can work properly, when I can
mm-hmm.
feel and look the way I want, and when
Yeah,
you know I can actually show people, you know, that this works. If you
yeah,
just really want it, you just kind of have to wake up one day and decide that you want it, and I
yeah,
mean really mean it. You know, not you know, not you wanted it a year ago and didn't go anywhere, but really truly be ready
yeah,
to give it your all.
yeah.
And it's not even that difficult, I have to admit. It's just commitment.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of it comes down to just like being committed to it.
Yeah,
You know, there's like there's ways to make it simpler. It's not like very easy. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. But it's like it's
true.
way simpler than like
Mm,
the most people would imagine.
yeah.
So, Jonathan, let's say like you would not be on this coaching. Like 6 months ago, you'd be watching this video. Would you like recommend other people to work with me, or like would you like what would you say to like Jonathan back then?
Uh, Speaking to myself, it would be to uh, just don't be expect hands-on coaching.
Yeah.
Um, I've been burned out in the past with supposed hands-on coaching just in my local area that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just so many times, you know, I would, you know, give you a message of how I felt that day or how a routine went,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could tell maybe a day or so later it seemed like you had tweaked the exercise based on my feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I liked about your program so much is you're there if I need you, but then again, you also give space to kind of observe and see how well it's going.
Yeah.
You know, you're not nagging, but you're not aloof and away. You know, not
Yeah.
observing, and I
Yeah.
appreciated that a lot. I
Yeah.
felt like I had space, but yet you were also there if I needed you,
Yeah.
and I knew you were kind of watching. So
Yeah.
that just that meant a lot. You know.
Yeah, the things like I am watching, you know, it took some time like to get into this the right groove of like, okay, too much hands on, too little hands on, you know. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I see it like if I would be too hands on, and like you wouldn't build habits on your own, you know. You wouldn't feel like it's you who achieves it. You would feel like, okay, if this coaching stops, I'm just all by my own, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like with the
Yeah.
way like this coaching is structured, you know, it's like, okay, I mean, you do this and you achieve it, you know, you got the results, you know. It's I help you, I put you in the right direction, I watch you along the way, but like as long as the system is running, you know, keep doing you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So would you recommend others to work with me?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
Without hesitation
yeah,
whatsoever. It worked out good for me, and it's only looking up from here.
yeah.
I couldn't be more pleased with how it's turned out.
Yeah, And like, who do you think I'm a good fit to work with? Like, what is my ideal client, so to speak?
If you don't eat animals, that helps. You'll win flooring points for sure. I guess if you're someone who was just tired of getting nowhere or wants to try it to see why so many people claim it's so great, I'm certainly someone who can speak positively for it. It's not a like I said, it's not a service I see. Certainly not in the area I live. Yeah, I'd say anyone who's just tired of trying things that don't work, and just want someone there with you who can guide you through it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, Jonathan. Like, let's imagine someone is watching this video right now. Why should they take action right now?
Well, the world we live in is, pretty grim, and currently, as we're recording this, people are awfully sick. We hear a lot about our immune systems, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind is, start with yourself. We have so much control of our immune system.
Yeah.
And this is such a great way to do it,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And also, like you told me before, like, like you were waiting, and then like with age, you realize that it doesn't get any better, the longer you wait and the longer you try to figure it out by yourself, huh?
Yes. Yeah. That was a big motivator for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
not waiting till it's too late.
Yeah, like just like because like we think we have so much time, but like in reality, like time passes like this, like the last 5 years pass like this, So it's like if you want to change something, you should better do it right now, That's the way I see it.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, Jonathan, you did it, and you haven't looked back. So congrats to you, like awesome progress. So, Jonathan, what would be your number one advice you would give like to vegans that are looking to again get a sharp mind, be a good example for others, have a badass body transformation like you did? What would be your number one advice to vegans like you?
Get someone who can help you. A coach, someone who has some experience you don't. There's always someone who knows something you don't. Find someone maybe like yourself who can really help and guide them.
Yeah.
If you're serious about wanting to, be in the best shape that you can be as healthy as you can be, there are those who can help you do that.
Yeah.
Because you've helped me do it, and I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Means a lot. The thing is, like, it's always great to touch base with clients, see like how far you've already come since we work together, and more to come, which I really think so. Like, Jonathan, enough kudos about me. Like, where can people like find something about you online? You have like an online presence, you have like a blog or whatever. They like, or leave Jonathan alone.
Oh man, I'm such an internet loner. Wow. No. I know you're supposed to say, "Oh, follow me on the Instagram or the Facebooks," but no. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have nothing to add to that. Yeah, I'm the weird guy who likes to, be internet distant. It's the first Skype call I've ever been on. So yeah, just that was nerve-wracking. I'm like an old man trapped in a young guy's body.
Well, I like that, Jonathan. I think like if I wouldn't be working online, I'd probably do the same thing. It's just like read some books all day and learn a little bit. Okay, Jonathan. Guys, this is the end of our interview. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jonathan, thank you for being on here. And I see you guys next time, huh?
Sounds good.